The creation stories we accept as our historical foundation hide a specific, deliberate lie. The texts we read today, all the way down to the digital algorithms governing our modern storytelling, are built on a rewritten origin. We can track a massive historical cover-up known as mythological identity theft. Thousands of years ago, early patriarchal societies systematically erased and overwrote the original creator, a primordial female force, replacing her entirely with male figures. Uncovering this ancient crime is a step toward understanding the social and gender dynamics of the 2026 cultural landscape. These stolen narratives didn't disappear. They became the hidden scaffolding for the world we live in today. The earliest evidence of this manipulation shows up as glaring character inconsistencies in our most famous texts. Take the Hellenic pantheon. We have to ask why supposedly foundational female figures operate purely as secondary, reactive characters. Hera offers a perfect case study. If you trace her regal origins in older regional traditions, she was a fiercely independent sovereign. By the time classical Greek literature solidifies, she is demoted entirely, recast simply as the jealous, subordinate wife of Zeus. The Babylonian creation myth, the Enuma Elish, takes an even more brutal approach. The text explicitly describes the new male storm god murdering the primordial mother goddess, Tiamat. He then physically constructs the heavens and the earth out of her slaughtered remains. These character shifts and violent overthrows are the forensic fingerprints of a deliberate editorial hijacking. Ancient writers actively disassembled the existing human origin story to build a new one. Before that editorial shift, the baseline of human spirituality looked entirely different. For millennia, global populations operated under a unified, female-centric worldview. The physical proof of this rests in the Venus figurines, found buried across continents. These artifacts confirm the widespread worship of a singular, female creative force long before written history. For early nomadic hunter-gatherers, creation was an observable, biological process. The ability to generate life from within the body was revered as a miracle of the natural world, perfectly encapsulated by the female form. Because early humans survived by integrating with natural cycles, their view of the world was rooted in biological reality. The male-dominated myths that followed centuries later required a forceful, unnatural imposition to take root. The catalyst for that sudden, violent shift in the narrative directly aligns with how humans secured their food. The timeline branches exactly when humans stopped gathering and started farming. When populations settled into permanent settlements like these, human needs shifted rapidly. Societies required strict legal structures to control resources, define inheritance, and establish land ownership. You can see the new philosophy in the invention of physical agricultural tools. Societies realized that to extract wealth from the earth, they had to break it, master it, and strip it of its previously untouchable sacred status. To successfully enforce a rigid, male-dominated legal order over land and property, the ancient mother goddess, the ultimate symbol of free, unmastered nature, had to be culturally assassinated. That assassination was carried out through a specific three-pronged playbook designed to strip the goddess of her power and rewrite the global mythos. Step 1 was linguistic demotion. Ancient institutions legally reclassified nature. It went from being described as a conscious, self-governing entity to a passive resource waiting to be conquered. This comparative chart tracks Step 2, symbolic inversion. Early cultures revered the serpent as a symbol of feminine wisdom and cyclical rebirth. Bronze Age societies deliberately flipped the meaning, turning the serpent into a representative of deception. Step 3 is the biological bypass. Right here at the Bronze Age divergence, texts physically alter the method of creation. The original biological miracle of birth disappears from the stories. Suddenly, supreme male deities are depicted bringing forth life by thinking it into existence, extracting it from their ribs, or birthing fully formed adults out of their foreheads. Through linguistic demotion, symbolic inversion, and biological bypass, the new ruling class successfully inverted humanity's relationship with creation. They finalized an ideological takeover that we continue to live under. The Great Erasure succeeded entirely. For thousands of years, global civilization has built its laws, art, and religions on a foundation where the feminine is inherently subordinate. This flow map illustrates how those exact hijacked narratives bridge the gap to our present. All of that ancient, biased text serves as the primary training data feeding directly into the nodes of our modern digital architecture. As we navigate the 2026 media landscape, we are actively hard-coding these stolen, patriarchal mythologies into the next generation of artificial intelligence and automated storytelling. If we interact with these modern digital systems without recognizing the massive bias in their mythological roots, we guarantee the continuation of that original ancient theft. The movement to decolonize mythology is a specific effort to recognize this cover-up and correct the foundational dataset. It starts with identifying the original story buried beneath the edits. You can push back against algorithmic storytelling by deliberately seeking out pre-patriarchal history. Start questioning the digital archetypes presented to you, and manually introduce the holistic, biological logic of the original creation myths back into your own media consumption. Reclaiming the original primal narrative restores the balance of the creative divine. It provides the mechanism for architecting a healthier collective future, built on the truth of our origins rather than the architecture of a theft.